Hey everyone, we are back with another great episode of Liftoff with Jeanniey Walden. You are going to love today's tips and guests. We're spilling the secrets on everything from how to look great in the new age of business casual and how to build your personal and professional brand to protecting your wealth and health and achieving holistic wellness. Wellness always sounds like a great place to start, don't you think? Our first guest, Gabby Reese, is the Chief Brand Ambassador of Laird Superfood, podcast host of The Gabby Reese Show, author, athlete, and speaker. Gabby has been able to take her nutrition expertise and help create delicious, plant-based, better-for-you food products that are accessible to all. Welcome to Liftoff, Gabby.
Thank you. Thanks. I think we're in a very lift-off green mood today. So
Absolutely. I love that we're twinning. Gabby, tell us why you're passionate about bringing clean, functional foods to the masses and why Laird Superfood?
well, the thing with Laird Superfood is it was a sort of a real accident. My husband, Laird Hamilton, is a surfer. He's an athlete, and he's always looking for ways to, either improve performance or nutrition or things like that. So he was using coffee for years. To put good things in it for longer performance, used to share it with friends, and sort of accidentally in 2015, Laird Superfood was created. And it's just an opportunity where if you already have an existing habit, it's like, we're not asking you to add or do something new because people are overwhelmed. It's like, please don't ask me to do one more thing. So how do we sort of do that realistically and in a supportive way, but also not compromise taste or their experience? So it really was good fortune.
Yeah, you're so right about that. I got a recommendation to take 7 supplements in a day, and I'm like, I'm not taking 7 pills. So this sounds delicious.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing that you do because you also have a podcast too. You're a woman that does everything. What inspired you to launch your podcast?
I've always interviewed people since the early 90s. I used to do shows and MTV Sports and other shows and interview athletes. And I always liked the idea of learning. I think coming from professional sports, it was sort of like, oh, it's not really about me at this moment. I can learn from these other people. And so just it's nicer to have these extended conversations. And my hope is to take this sort of high-end information that gets a little heady and put it at a sort of 3rd or 6th grade level, because I mean, I don't want to say democratizing health, but this sort of idea of, hey, listen, how do we get this best information and sort of get it to the people that are too busy or don't really have the resources to throw at it? Because I think there's a lot of opportunities for people to feel so much better in their day-to-day life with just small tweaks here and there.
And tell me, who's been your favorite guest? Maybe you don't have a favorite, but tell me about some of the guests that you love.
Certainly. I mean, I have a lot of scientists and doctors. So like Dr. David Sinclair, who talks about, let's just call it slow aging. It's to extract information from them and also how are they doing it? Because you get all these experts. Like yesterday, I was talking to a natural medicine expert, Dr. Will Cole, and he's like, listen, I don't have it figured out. Like they have the answers, but he's like, this is a practice. And I think for me, it's that whole thing of, if someone says to you in absolutes, this is what you have to do, or I'm a life coach, run away from them. I think it's about like, hey, listen, you can have all the right information, but if you don't figure out a way to build a practice realistic to who you are and what your life is and what you're navigating, you won't be successful. So I think it's really, for me, just trying to encourage people to go, it's messy, it's constant, but simultaneously, it's like, you have to do it. There's no way around it. You can't hack it. It's, not a magic bullet. And it's sort of something that you just are trying each day. You don't arrive there. Like just because I've done this for 35 years doesn't mean now like I'm done doing it.
Well, I think you and I are in sync, especially since we chose the same color tops to wear today. Give us one tip we can leave the viewers with.
An easy tip, we all know about nutrition. Besides sleep, is if you're not sprinting on a track, try to breathe to the best of your ability with your mouth closed and breathe slow, long, and deep so that you will downregulate or stay in your quiet or your parasympathetic. A lot of people are breathing through their mouth, shallow breathing. It's more stressful. And if you can get up and down from your chair, if I know we have to sit and work and do things, you got to do it. And that's very 101, but it's something that we do a lot of, sitting and breathing. So,
yeah, Gabby, I've been a fan of yours for years. I'm so thrilled and honored that you came on the show. Thanks so much for being a guest.
Well, thank you for having me, and have a great day. And I hope your green works well for you today.
You as well. And for everybody watching, stay with us unless you need to go put a green shirt on. So we've got a lot coming up that you're going to love.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Our next guest, Jarrett Preston, is impressive. He is the author of the Wall Street Journal best-selling book, Billions Under Pressure, The Art and Science of Creating, Exchanging, and Protecting Value. He's the CEO of Idoneous, an asset trading expert and a former United States Marine. He's here to tell us how we can protect our wealth during turbulent times. Welcome to Liftoff, Jarrett.
Thank you for having me.
Jarrett, tell us a little bit about your book and what compelled you to write it.
Well, the last 25 years, I spent my career helping some of the most elite families, high net worth individuals around the world in protecting their own assets, trading assets, exchanging value of all types. And in that process, I learned many things that maybe the average individual may not know. I wanted to take that into the mainstream world and bring these tools to the market through a book that everyone could then learn from and protect their own assets, wealth, and futures.
That's great. Now give us a scoop. In these turbulent times, what can every person do to protect their wealth?
Obviously, number one is diversification. We have to diversify and not be stuck in any single asset class or currency or locale. So I would recommend not only investing in traditional assets, not only investing in the standard markets, but also into tangible physical assets and assets with cash flow, obviously, or assets with the ability to be mobile. And we'll discuss that a bit more. But the ability to move your asset, to move your wealth at any given moment in this type of economy is critical.
Now, is diversification enough, or should people be doing more?
We need to do more. Diversification used to be enough, maybe for 1,000 years, but today we need more. We need mobility. And by mobility, I mean to consider asset classes which can move swiftly, quickly, legally in this type of economic climate. So our clients are looking at assets such as gold, assets such as fine art, whether that's fractionally owned or fully owned, looking at obviously real estate, but every type of asset that you can move in and out of swiftly when you need to. Again, the key is to have that mobility and have that flexibility to move forward.
And you have a message in your book that I absolutely love. You talk about being a person of character, being accountable for your word, and someone that others can trust. How critical do you think that is to success?
It may be the most overlooked principle today. I think it's very important that we make very clear statements and clear commitments and state a clear vision in whatever pursuit we are in today, and that we deliver on those commitments. People are looking for a safe harbor, right? Something to trust in this market. And we need to be those people, and that's how we'll rise to the top.
That's such great information. Jarrett, where can people find your book and resources?
By visiting idoneous.io and obviously buying Billions Under Pressure. The book's available now.
Well, thank you so much for being on Liftoff, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, everybody. Keep watching. We'll be right back.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. The COVID pandemic changed our lives in so many ways. One was how we dress. Now that we're all out and about again, let's get some expert help on how to look our best. Allison Brune and Delia Folk are the co-founders of The Style That Binds Us, and moving from behind the scenes where they've been styling me for a few of our episodes to the front lines to share their fashion expertise. Welcome in front of the camera and welcome to the show, ladies.
Thanks. We're so excited to be here.
Me too. I'm thrilled because I have so many questions about fashion, as you both know. Can you walk us through what to wear for a core wardrobe?
So right now with business casual or business professional, as long as you have that core wardrobe, you can do it all. All right, so we put together the photos to show you. The first photo shows this collage of all the base tops, the base layer tops, like a cami, a white tee, a green top. So you have that in your closet. And then next to that, you're going to have the base layer bottoms, which is going to be everything from a dressy black pant or a black skirt, all the way down to a blue jean, a white jean, or whatever. So you don't need a ton of those, right? You just have that section. Then you have your third layer pieces, which are these blazers or a cardigan or a wrap jacket, anything like that. And then the last thing is the accessories. You have your shoes, which you have the pump, a loafer. You have it the same thing in a soft neutral. And the same thing with your bags, and then some simple jewelry. And when you have all of that together, you can make a plethora of different looks. And you can certainly do dressed up looks or completely dressed down looks, right? So the next picture we're going to show is the woman who is in the black pencil skirt with a cami like Delia's wearing, and that jardigan, which is like a combination of a sweater and a blazer. But you can also see you can switch it out for a silk skirt, a little matching cami. You can wear that with a sandal. You can wear that with a pump. You can wear that with like a ballet flat to work to. You can take off the blazer. You can wear the blazer. So these pieces in this photo collage show how many different ways you can wear those, like 4 pieces, right? The same thing goes with the green blazer, which is very similar to this color. So in the photo of the girl, she's wearing the green blazer with a jean. You can take that same green blazer and wear it with a pant like Delia's wearing, and a pump and some dressier jewelry and a small clutch, and that can even be an evening look or a business dinner look, or especially with a skirt. Or you can wear the same jacket with jeans and the little tank and a sneaker. So that blazer can be worn so many different ways. So you need to be thinking about that when you buy things. How many different ways am I going to be able to wear this? Okay. And then there's a lot of people wear dresses. So you can wear dresses if you pick out the dresses that can also be worn casually with the dresses, the same dresses that you can wear. You can wear with a pump or a slingback, but you can also wear with a flat or a sandal. And then I put a trench in the picture because a lot of people don't think about the fact that your entrance and your exit are your most important moments.
And so, would you say that what you wear can absolutely affect your performance?
No doubt.
Oh my goodness, the science behind dressing, what you wear, what you put on your body actually affects how you perform. So if you're wearing something very cozy, your brain is thinking, I'm ready to take a nap. So that's where you're sabotaging yourself if you're working from home in comfy clothes. Whereas if you put on that blazer or that lab coat as a doctor, your brain is saying to you, okay, I'm ready for business. I'm ready to get all my professional goals accomplished.
That is such smart advice. And I think you've just made a wardrobe seem powerful, versatile, affordable, and just easy to put together. Thank you both so much for being on Liftoff in front of the cameras, and absolutely for styling me with the beautiful LaFleur clothing that I absolutely adore.
Yes, and these Ally shoes that you're going to wear as well eventually are so comfortable, right?
Oh, I tried them on this morning and I can't wait. So ladies, thanks again for helping us get our wardrobe up to date, intact. And thanks so much for being on Liftoff.
Sure.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having
Jeanniey.
us.
Absolutely. And for everybody that's watching, stay tuned. We are happy to welcome back to the show fantastic Francis Tesmer. Francis joined us in a previous Liftoff episode on the future of the beauty industry. Francis, so happy to have you in person.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here with you.
Francis, you say that the beauty industry's future is all about intelligent beauty. So what are the needs of the beauty industry today, and how does Lead Rolfs Global Institute empower beauty professionals to meet and exceed those needs?
Absolutely. Intelligent beauty. Today's beauty, the industry, everyone who we serve, all of it needs a huge dose of intelligence. Think about it. In today's time, right? The world has changed through technology, through advancements of science. Each and every one of us as human beings, and especially as women, our need, our wants, our desire have changed dramatically, right? So what we are doing here with LEADS, Rolf Global Institute, is to empower beauticians through the power of higher education so they can address today's need. What we are doing, we are expanding the intellect of beautician, their overall education to the next level, so they can address this modern today world and its need and its desire. And this is intelligent beauty. We need an intelligent and holistic approach to beauty through our empowered beauticians.
Intelligent beauty is such a fantastic phrase, and I think you're leading a movement. Do you agree?
Totally. This is a global movement. This is a global movement for women, about women, and about the beauty industry collectively. Indeed.
Francis, this is so insightful. Give us one tip that we should all walk away with from today.
Absolutely. Believe in yourself. You are intelligent beauty just the way you are.
Thanks so much for being on Liftoff again, Francis. You heard it here. Believe in yourself and don't go away. We've still got more great info to come. Doug Frederick has had a diverse and seasoned career as a founder, sales executive, investor, and advisor to many organizations. He's the CEO of HealthQues, a health and disease prevention company. Doug, I'm so happy to have you on Liftoff.
Oh, pleasure, Jeannie. Glad to be here.
So, Doug, you've got so much great information. Let's start talking with what is preventative health and why is it important?
It's really important. We spend $4 trillion a year as a country, and 75% of what we spend on major medical is preventable. The chronic disease is preventable. So we should be educating people so they understand what they can be doing. Instead of going to a doctor and finding out what's wrong with them, try to prevent it before that happens.
So just to make it clear for everybody, preventable health gets it before it even goes to major medical where you have to pay co-pays and other heavy expenses. Right?
Correct. 7 out of 10 times we go to the doctor, we know where we're going. We're trying to get people to use health coaches, call the telemedicine, don't guess what's wrong with you, DNA screening, biometric screening.
And so why is this good for any employer? In other words, what are the benefits that they see?
Well, the benefits they see, statistically happier, healthier employees are going to be more profitable, fewer sick days, and they also get a payroll tax savings by implementing our program.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So every employer should be doing this.
I don't know why every employer isn't doing it, yes.
Interesting. And is it expensive for an employer to implement or?
There's no out-of-pocket costs. We do all the heavy lifting. So it's their payroll company doing the heavy lift, but they already pay the payroll company to do their job. So there's not any more work on the employer or the employee.
And so how does the employee benefit from this? Is it through education, information? What is your company doing with?
Yeah, so we have about a 35% engagement rate, which in baseball, that's really good, batting 350. But that's really high in our type of program. So we're constantly educating, reaching out to the employees. We're trying to get the individuals to, like I said, take a DNA screening, biometric screening, walk through it with a health coach and really understand how you should be eating better. If you're going to exercise, what type of exercising is better for your body.
Now, I know you have a lot of statistics about health and wellness. What are the top 3 preventative health measures people should take?
Number 1, biometric screening. They should get biometric screening for sure. Number 2 would be DNA screening. And then number 3, talk to someone that understands your DNA screening and understands your biometric screening, because you're going to get 30, 35 pages, and I didn't even understand mine. So I had to talk to my health coach.
Not ancestry DNA screening, not
No,
to find
no,
out that you were originally German.
No, we don't do that. It's all about what type, if I'm going to exercise for my body type, what's the best exercise, and really if I'm going to eat healthier. Like I did mine for eating, and it was low fat, and I thought low fat went out in the 80s, but I guess for my body, that's the type of
Not for
diet I
you.
should be doing. Yes.
That's great. I wonder what mine is. I hope it's high carbs and fast food. I'm going to get mine done. But thanks, Doug, for coming on the show. I think what you're talking about is something every employer should be considering and every person should be considering. Really appreciate having you on Liftoff.
Thank you so much, Jeannie.
All right. Next up, tips to build your personal brand. So stay with us.
What if your personal lifestyle and preventative healthcare was part of your employment? Employers, how valuable is a healthier, happier workforce? What if this could be true for both employee and employer at no additional cost and with an actual realized net pay increase? With Health Q's, these things can be true for both. Many employers face high medical claims and absenteeism costs as their employees don't get the preventative care they need because they don't know where to go, and the out-of-pocket costs for these tests are too high. Health Q's bridges the gap to vital services.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Our next guest is Denise Lambertson, an influencer marketing expert with a focus in startup consumer products. She's also an investor and managing partner of a venture capital firm. She joins us now with tips on personal branding. Welcome to Liftoff, Denise.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here, and I have to say, your hair looks fabulous.
Thank you. It was causing like a little bit of problems earlier, but I think we fixed it.
Awesome. Well, tell me, why is it important for people to build their brand along with their business?
So this has been a change that's happened in the last 2 or 3 years. We've gone from influencers being important to brands to founders and entrepreneurs being the most important influencer to their own brand. And it's a subtle shift that I don't know that everyone, that entrepreneurs are thinking of, but really they have the most impact when it comes to storytelling.
So for someone that's just entering the field like this show, what are some of the actionable steps you can share to get them set up for success?
So the actionable steps, I would say to start building an inspiration file. It's called a swipe file. And I would say go out and look at some of the founders and some of the entrepreneurs and what they're talking about, and just build a database that you can fall back on, because it's uncomfortable in the beginning when you're just starting out. It's nerve-wracking. You know, this is not what you got into business for, right? But just having that repository to look back on and give you inspiration will really help you start and get in your lane.
And what are some of the great tools or ways to get yourself and your business recognized and maintain a relevant presence without it looking too salesy?
It's really important that balance in personal branding and in founder marketing. So you want to show the truth of building your business. You want to show the hard times that you push through, as well as all the wins, the high fives, and the hard moments. So it means putting yourself out there, talking about why you started the business, and talking about why it's hard, but also bringing people in and sharing with them all the wins as well.
So do you suggest that people get coaches or support to build their brand when they're starting their business?
I don't think we necessarily need coaches. I would attack the personal branding space by thinking about it as its own marketing channel. So just as you would build a plan for how you're going to launch this business. So I'm going to do this social media, this press, this content. Then you would say, okay, well, I'm the founder, I'm the entrepreneur. I'm going to do this social media, this press, etc. And think about it. Try to take the emotions out of it and think about it as needing its own strategy and its own plan. And if you can do that, I don't know that you necessarily need the coach in the beginning.
So some people say that, you're building the business, everything should focus on the business and not the personal brand. You're saying something that's very different, which there's the business brand and a personal brand, and both are really important. And I think that comes from today's consumer wanting to have some trust. They want to see the CEO on camera. They want to know who's behind the company or the product. Do you see that changing or just becoming more important as we move forward?
It has been a shift, but it is here. And if you are not engaging in that way, you're really missing out on an opportunity for growth for your business. Consumers trust people more than they trust companies. That's just a fact, right? That's why we see influencers and celebrities and athletes all telling stories, and consumers themselves telling stories as, I love this product. So the founder or the entrepreneur needs to insert themselves into that conversation. 82% of consumers trust a brand more if they see the founder or the leadership team on social and engaging in marketing. And 77% of them are more likely to buy. Those are really compelling numbers.
I'm a data nerd, so I love that. I promise you those stats will be on our social posts forever, and I will be repeating them from this point forward. So Denise, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your expertise. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so fun to be here.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Well, that is a wrap for this episode of Liftoff with Jeanniey Walden. I can see your mind already putting those great tips and green tops to use. Every episode, we invite a select group of guests like you to watch the show live. Today, we are bringing Amya Zhanelle up to thank her for being in our audience. Hi, Amya.
Hi.
Thanks for being in our audience today.
Thank you for having me. This show was absolutely incredible. I was able to take away so many things.
Tell me one thing that you took away.
I think my favorite was the stylist. Just knowing so many different ways that I could pair a blazer with all of the outfits that are in my closet. And going from a day to a night look, very easy.
Super helpful, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being a fan of the show and coming to our taping today and for sharing the tips with everybody on TV.
Thanks. It was awesome.
All right, everybody. That's it for today. Be sure to follow us at Liftoff with Jeanniey for more tips behind the scenes and tell us what you want to hear on an upcoming show. I'm Jeanniey Walden. See you next time.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It's good.
It's not.
Here, put that on.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
The proceeding was sponsored by Liftoff Enterprises, LLC.